Compromised, a Pride and Prejudice variation, written by J. Dawn King, narrated by Stevie Zimmerman. Chapter 1. It was a sound Elizabeth Bennet could not recall hearing in her lifetime. The deep, plaintive tones of a man in agony, an uncomfortable sound, which both resonated in her deepest emotions and pulled at the strings of her heart. It moved her to act, in the manner of one who comes upon a live animal caught in a poacher's steel trap, willingly facing the danger from the wounded animal in an effort to set it free. Elizabeth noted the tumult seemed to be coming from just behind the stand of trees in the lower field to the west of Netherfield Park. The day had been filled with exasperation. From the time of breaking their fast together, Miss Caroline Bingley, sister to the gentleman leasing the estate, had used every opportunity to insult Elizabeth's family. Not one flaw had been left unmentioned. The improper conduct of Elizabeth's younger sisters, the vulgarity of her mother, close family connections in trade, and the entailment of her home to a distant cousin. Miss Bingley spoke as if Elizabeth was not in the room, seated across from her at the long hardwood table. The place settings were elegant, the conversation was not. Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy appeared to join in her disdain, though he said not a word. His constant stares and arrogant opinions set Elizabeth's back on edge like fingernails run down the length of a slate. Elizabeth, who refused to be intimidated or give evidence that Miss Bingley's comments pained her, had been relieved when Mr. Darcy received a letter that quickly took him away from the breakfast-room. Miss Bingley's longing to follow him, not unlike a puppy who nips at your heels, was shown in her gaze following his withdrawal from the room. Elizabeth wondered what she saw in him. Certainly he was a great man in England. From Elizabeth's perspective, it could only be his wealth and possessions that held any attraction for the woman, for he was a miserable man to have in company. Elizabeth's eldest sister Jane had fallen ill soon after her arrival for tea at Miss Bingley's invitation 3 days prior, and Elizabeth had followed her to the Bingley residence to assist in her care. Jane had shown consistent improvement, but was still worn from her illness. She had drifted off to sleep, so Elizabeth sought refuge away from the turmoil of the house and her own thoughts. She loved the countryside, finding solace in the autumnal colours, the crisp October air, and the crunch of fallen leaves under her walking boots. Elizabeth moved closer to the trees and the source of the outcry. As she approached, she was better able to discern specific phrases that repeated themselves in a chant. "Dear Lord, no. Please, no."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?